Facebook, use our hashtags, and we'll be seeing what comments you have. Of course, it's the man out front, that number 2 machine. He was too fast. Was Aaron Haby from then Matt Curtis. So there he is. Haby's going to be the first one out of the line. He's been a man too fast all day for any of the competitors to really see a wheel. That truck handles so well. We really can see how fast he shoots over that backside of the hill. There he comes barreling down into that right-hander, and the dust just tri-fold worse than even the last time we saw them hit that corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it looks like Aaron just took off there on his own there, so he's got a nice clear run. We've got the 9:36 entry there, Matt Curtis. Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him to try and chase Aaron Haby down, but that Chev sounding nice and sweet.
He did make up, however, a lot of space in the prologue sprint just a moment ago to put himself here in this second qualifying position. So he's done some pretty decent lap times out there. Now we move on to the long course, a part of the track that the drivers haven't seen yet. See if he can find something over Haby. At the moment, though, the money would have to be with the number 2 machine.
Yeah.
He's been so strong all day. Another man that's been strong. He was your third fastest qualifier. There he is, Gary Turnbull. Having a lot of troubles, I guess that you call it, in that first of the prologue races. That was indeed the buggy that came together with Tony Whateleys and flipped him right on his roof. Great sportsmanship was shown, though. Pulled over to the back of the track, making sure everyone was okay. Now he's back out there in that third position, Gary Turnbull. Of course, a Tamara in there in the co-pilot seat. The next one that should be taking off should be our second fastest qualifier, Robbie Plant. And indeed it is the 1:28 machine as he shoots past the NRG TV broadcasting rig there down the hill, and we really are starting to see these dusty conditions form in. Nice to see that little bit of left to right to left wind still clearing the circuit.
Yeah, it sort of it seems to be just coming and going there, the breeze there. Hopefully it comes and it stays there for this afternoon, because the drivers are really going to need that.
Well, you have a look at the dust out the back of just one car shooting up that back section there. They could be in some trouble here. Yeah. And talking to my brother and my mum, they said down this back section here, down to the right, where they shoot far off to that right-hand section after this right turn. He's going to turn right here. You go right down to the end of that straight, hook a left, and apparently that is just a dust bowl.
Yeah, look, and where you go down the end of this particular whoop straight where Toby Whateleys is about to go through now, instead of turning left, you keep going straight, then you actually veer right to go to the long course. So that's where the splitter is between the prologue course and the long course.
Next man through there he is, Wes Cowie. He's looking to make up some time here. Now he will be chasing down the back wheel of Toby Whateleys. It's Ryan Schutt in there in the passenger seat. Another consistent day out here also for Wes. He's showing good times. He's sitting there right on the outside of that top 5 bubble as we move to this long course. As you said, he knows one speed. Once he can really open up that big V8, I think he's going to want to see the front of this field.
Yeah, that's the V6 Toyota there that's running. That's the V6 Toyota.
That's throaty when it comes past.
Very, yeah. And all the fabrication, the exhaust is all done by himself. TIG welded everything. He's very clever with a TIG.
He fabricates his own equipment.
All of it, everything.
Wow. That's trusting your machinery, trusting your trade.
Yep, and he's a very good tradesman.
There we go. Now number 77, that's Daniel Lamb on screen. He was your 7th place man, and the first man he's going to want to chase down is, of course, Wes. See if he can get the power down quick enough. Of course, as we said, these are classes across the board. Not all of these drivers are even competing against each other. Obviously, in the outright times, everybody in. However, in the individually broken up classes, these buggies that are coming past, we've got Pro Open, Pro Light. That's the difference, I'm guessing, just the V8 to the 6-cylinder?
Correct. Yeah, Pro Opens your V8s or your 3.5 litres turbocharged, or your 3.5 litre naturally aspirated is your sort of normally your Pro Light.
They are mostly naturally aspirated?
Yeah. And then you've got your 2 litres and then your Super 1650s, sort of rounding out the popular buggy classes.
Now we go to the 1166, Steve Jones. He's your 8th place outright man. Taking off just that one spot there behind McClellan. He's carrying a lot of speed into this bottom turn.
Yeah,
he's starting to push it more and more.
Yeah, they've all sort of negotiated that section a few times now, so they're getting used to the flow of the track and the bumps that are there, and yeah, pushing it hard.
Now we go to the 1:22 machine. That's going to be Chris Johnson. Another guy. He's got his work cut out. He's going to catch the remainder of his class. Really going to have to drive the wheels off the thing. You look at the travel though on the front end of that thing.
Yeah, that's Chris and his father Colin have done a lot of work on that car to get it where it is. That used to be a beam car, which means that they've just had the two straight beams at the front with like some swing arms. And yeah, they've converted to an A-arm car.
There's the 666 machine, Adam Bill. He's come through the whoops. I'd say that's about the quickest one we've actually seen through the whoops there, and he has not backed off. Now these X3s, this is where they really drive in hard. Not afraid to get the air, get the suspension light. You've got a lot of travel, but you look how hard they can drive into the turns. Like, there's already 10 kilometres an hour quicker just into the entrance. Yeah,
like I said earlier, I'm just really impressed with these UTVs and how fast you can actually push them. You know, I mean, they're just a great little out the box and be competitive car.
Another competitive car is that REM machine out there. That's the 85 machine of Todd Lehman. Now I'm going to guess that's a V8.
Is it a Buick? I believe that's the
that's the Buick engine.
The V6 Buick. Yeah, so they're the 3.8 litre, I believe. That's why it's in the Pro Open class there. But yeah, so they're a very torquey, throaty engine, the old Buick V6.
You can hear it coming past there.
Yeah.
Just a lot deeper in the note of a lot of these cars that are coming past. From that, however, we're going to go from Lehman down to Declan Cummings. Looks like a big no fear sticker on there, and one of our happy supporters.
Yeah,
out
happy
here,
supporters.
Just getting a bit of airtime.
Bit of a photo bomb there, or video bomb there, and come through the camera.
Now to guess, I reckon he's going to be there next lap as well.
I reckon he might be. It's quite a mischievous face, that one, on that young lad.
I think that every intent was put into getting on that shot just there.
Definitely.
As we said, though, all the spectators out here having a great time. We love to see the kids out here smiling and doing what they do. Mum and Dad obviously set up under the quick shade. It is very warm conditions out here, trying to get a bit of shade. As we said so many times throughout today, though, the Loveday 4x4 Park, it's not just this one-off event. This is the holiday destination. If you're about your outdoors, camping, fishing, four-wheel driving, this is the one destination in Australia that you need to be heading to. Of course, we're about 120 k's, I believe, west of Mildura. How long from Adelaide up to here?
Yeah, look, it's a good 2.5 hour drive from sort of the city to the Loveday 4x4 Adventure Park. So, and it's open all year round. So yeah, anyone can come here anytime to
so if you're going to take the time to obviously 2.5 hour drive, it's a bit of a hike. You're from Adelaide, maybe got a long weekend off or a week that you're going to take a holiday. This is a place to come and do it. Just nestled down the back of those trees is a beautiful 8-kilometre stretch of the Murray River, the mighty Murray as it's known. Get down here, get your fishing in, some water sports in, whatever you want, especially as we head into these warmer summer months, looking for that cool river to cool off. And here's Jake Williams coming in, hot as ever. He was not happy. His buggy actually stopped on the line of his last prologue race, so he went from 9th place down to 15th, and he's going to be holding it wide. Kid doesn't really know how to do anything other than that. Yeah, no,
and that's evident how this kid's driving right now there, Ed, and he's on the gas.
He's electing to take that same line that he was still in practice, and it's a line I haven't really seen anyone use. The shorter wheelbase Polaris was able to get on that inside. He holds that apex quite wide and then just straight to the inside.
Yep. Very, very nice, smooth entry and exit.
And they really are. It's obviously the newest buggy to the class, if you will, the Yamaha YXE 1000, based off, of course, the 996 snowmobile engine. They rev very, very hard. You can get a very high rev range and, of course, a sequential gearbox. But this is the other buggy that I was talking about that takes that same line. Now, he looks like he's tried to drive a little bit wider, actually, trying to carry a bit more momentum. Now, there is a bit more bull dust. It is getting drier, looking for those top lines out the side, the top of the berms, keeping momentum. And I think for something with such a short wheelbase like that, you really do need to keep the hammer down as much as possible.
You do. You've got to rail where you can and then ride tight wherever you can. So, yeah, no, he did a good job on that corner.
That was the 575 machine there in the black ute heading past. That's going to be Dallas Crowther. He's the next one to take off, and you see those fans spinning away on the back. Really long back on that.
Yeah, it is. You can see the swing arms there and the travel in that truck. That's built for some serious big whoops.
Now we go to the 282 machine, one of our small machines out there now. That's Tyson Proud. Now, Tyson was your 19th outright driver. He's a bit squirrely off to the left-hand side of the circuit there. He's pulled it back in.
Big lock up.
Front wheel lock up there. So, as we're seeing, though, you put bull dust on top of hard pack. There's not a whole lot of traction when slowing down. Not as affecting when you're on the gas, but really under brakes, those wheels, the force just wants to keep driving it forward. And we saw there, almost understeering as he came into the corner.
That's right.
Now to the 152 machine. It's going to be Darren Ingham. He's out there all by himself in that buggy.
Yeah, he evidently had a fuel pump issue after he had that he pulled off to the side of the track there in the earlier section. Yeah, it was a fuel pump issue. So he's obviously got on top of that and got his car going, and it's good to see him back out there having a slide.
Not the qualifying position that he would have been looking for. Now it does look like these drivers are coming through. There's big gaps between them. No one's going to catch anyone. Make no mistake, this will not be the same order when they come around next lap.
No, that's right. I mean, look, you're going to get some people to fall ill, the cars to fall ill, and they might not make a first lap. But that's just the luck of the draw, and that's just the nature of off-road racing in the art of attrition.
Is that the 216 machine now? I believe that's Paul Walsh. Alongside him, Ashley Mays. That's going to be your 21st qualifier. Have another 10 drivers to get through, and I think by the time we get through the end of that, we're going to be looking pretty close to the time that Aaron Haby will be coming back around. There's one of our X3s. So from Paul Walsh, we go to Jason Favell. He's got either Liam or Chloe in there beside him. He's got 2 elected navigators, so he can choose which one of them will want to go in as he drives in. Of all the buggies, the X3s, they do look like they handle very, very well.
They're a very nice car. You know, the way they sit, the way they run the whoops, how fast they go. They're just very impressive, very impressive.
And it's really just becoming more and more of the market, these off-the-shelf things that you can buy. You don't now have to go and, fabricate your own frames and, go to a B&B or someone and fabricate a frame and then find an engine from the US, ship it out, build it from ground up. And then you're still probably not going to be in something that's competitive to someone that's imported a complete. Now,
exactly.
You go to the shelf, buy one of these X3s, you're competitive anywhere in the world. I mean, Toby Whateleys right now is 5th outright against pro buggies. Like hundreds of thousands of dollars put into trucks, and he's holding the exact same pace.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about them. You can just concentrate on driving and then not having to be a first-class mechanic.
Which not many drivers are.
No.
We all think we are.
Yeah, that's right.
Best mechanic on the planet right here.
Yeah, we just ask you, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Duct tape and a zip tie can't fix it.
That's right.
Now we go down. I believe that's a 234 machine. So that's going to be Nick Bird. He's your 24th qualifier. And straight off after him, the 555 of Darren Hill. Of course, in P25 there. Big throaty truck, that one, as it comes past the NRG TV van. I'd imagine there'd be a fair bit of weight in that truck too.
Yeah, that old Ford's got a bit of weight to it. It's been around the block a couple of times. It's a very very accomplished car. And old Darren Hilly, I believe he's from the Mount Gambier. So yeah, he's been out here a few times at Loveday, and I know he loves to come out here and have a slide. And he just loves racing.
From the 555 machine, we will go to the 277. That's Cruz Jenkins, and Jenkins had problems in that last one. Yeah, problems with the buggy, which is why he's starting so far back in that big machine. We did see him go off the track and have to get things back together, so gave up a whole bunch of positions, and it really is costly. However, now he's got 70 kilometres to try and make it back up, and it doesn't sound like a big distance. How can you catch someone 5 minutes up in 70 kilometres? But you can mess one corner and there's a minute gone.
That's right, and that's the thing. You can mess one corner, or there could be 3 guys in front of you that'll fail. Something will break them. Will break a CV, to break a gearbox or input shaft or whatever. So, and then all of a sudden he's picked up 3 spots. So it's anyone's game.
I mean, not just that. I mean, then you're taking your element of dust. There's actually, I think, there's people stop in the middle of the track just because you cannot see. You can't see. They don't feel safe enough to drive.
Yep. No, I've been in situations where I can't see my hand in front of me, and that's not fun.
It's a little bit scary. We did see one of the YZXs going around there.
It's like the Robbie Gordon built Arctic Cat there, side by side, coming over the jump.
The number there. Yeah, so indeed, that is the 6637. That'll be Wayne Cales, I believe. Or is it the 6606, possibly of Rod Holmes? Yeah, that was definitely Rod Holmes there. So the 6606 machine there of Rod Holmes. Now we go to the Grover machine, one of the funnest trucks to watch get around this course. Very beefy, very powerful. Make no mistake, that's pretty much a production car with a cage.
Oh, yeah, and I was very impressed watching it earlier in the earlier sections go around the around the arena area. That for a big, heavy, full drive, it handles really good.
You'd expect it to have a lot more body roll in that circuit.
Yeah.
It really did sit well, squatted well in the rear end.
No, it looks very stable.
That's, of course, Matty Whitmitz, though. From Whitmitz, our next man around should be the 566 of Paul Goddard. He's going to be the second last of the men to take off here. There it is. The VT is in for it. 35 kilometres of nothing a VT was designed to do.
Absolutely. No, and he came through that turn one full sideways there. And they'll be having a blast, these boys.
Then I believe it's going to be the favourite machine of mine out there. I think it should be the Ute coming around next to the VS. And that's going to be Matt Coombs. So if he's the next one around, it is going to be that big white Ute. We talk about cars getting sideways in the back end. Look how much rougher that's even got from practice qualifying. He's 15 kilometres an hour slower than even the last time he saw that section.
Yeah, no, there's a bit of a hole form there, so that's definitely a bit of a G out, and even a bigger G out in a sort of a sedan-based off-road car such as this one.
Okay, so we're getting word that that's actually the last car off the start line. So Matt Coombs, not sure. He did have troubles in that last one. We did see him pull off to the side, so maybe not able to get that Ute back going. It's not what we want to see. Hopefully we'll see him back out here strapped in tomorrow. But you have a look now. This is the first time we've actually seen this section of track. This gets rough.
This really chops up there, and you can see they're going straight. Right? Yeah, this is where they go right for the long course, and they would have gone left there, obviously, for the prologue track. So this is a good bit of footage here. We can really see. Hopefully you see it now. We've lost that there, but no, look, it just goes up over the hill, comes back towards the tavern, turns left, and then shoots back out to towards the highway.
Now it should be around 5 minutes. I'd be expecting to see Haby coming back through. He should be the first of your drivers, as we said. We really have no idea who's going to pop into sight first.
No, that's right.
It'll be Toby Whateleys at this stage. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Look, you'd expect to see the number 2 entry there of Aaron Haby come through first. But it can be anyone's game.
Well, with the likes of Curtis, Turnbull and Plant all behind him, who's such strong qualifying, all their buggies are set up very, very well. All around that, that same sort of premier class. Obviously, Whateleys in a buggy that you wouldn't put on the same caliber of machinery as these top trucks. However, the agility of them, how quickly you can turn them. Yeah, there is advantages in that as well. That's why we talk about like the things like the Hayabusas or the 650 trophy carts. They're ridiculous. Oh yeah, absolutely,
and also obviously it comes down to the driver and the driver's ability, and Toby's a very skilled driver for his age. I remember I've known Toby for a while, and it looks like we've got that's the Paul Goddard entry there coming through the back straight there, heading towards the highway. Man, there's some dust there, Aiden. That's definitely some big dust there that the drivers have to will be contending with.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering as they head into that, over further than where we can even see in that tree section. Same as, we talk about often with the Fink Desert race. Once you get into the, those ferny areas, that brackeny area with bush, it holds that wind down and the dust just settles. It does not move an inch.
No, it doesn't. And then it becomes, it can be a little dangerous, but look, you've just got to drive to the conditions, and if you can see an orange running light, then you stick to that and follow.
Try not to hit it.
Try not to hit it.
It is actually probably the biggest thing we followed in Finks. Just like there's a flashing light I can see. Try and stay about where it is. If it comes up real quick, he's hit a tree.
That's exactly. And that's all you can do. But look, just on the Loveday 4x4 Adventure Park, if you are thinking of coming out here to stay and you've got some extra gear and you need to throw it in the trailer, then jump on moveyourself.com.au and look for a cage trailer. We've got 8x5 cage trailers that have drop-down ramps that make loading bikes and stuff easy. Small cage trailers, small enclosed trailers for luggage trailers if you want to throw some swags and stuff in. So, be sure to keep us in mind if you need to carry some extra gear to your Loveday 4x4 Adventure Park visit.
Exactly what you need to be doing. Get the trailer, get the bike, get the kids, get the rods. Pull yourself up here at the 4x4 park and you'll not regret it whether you're here a day or a week. You're going to love every second. Is that? Oh, is this a replay?
This is a replay, yeah.
Wow, he's caught him.
Yeah.
This is a replay, of course, of Tony Whateleys' crash. Now, it's going to come up in about 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Any moment now we are going to see Tony Whateleys hitting off the roof. Wow, it doesn't get any nicer, does it?
No, every time we see that, it just does the same thing to them with the first time we saw it. Wow.
So now you imagine a crash at that, maybe 40, 50 kilometres an hour, as Enfriended 5 times. What happens at 150?
Oh,
it's aggressive.
Yeah, it's violent, and you don't want to be a part of it. It's violent.
That looks violent enough for me.
Oof. I remember.
He really does get a lot of clearance off the ground with all 4 wheels.
Oh, I remember Billy Geddes and his Geyser Brothers truck at the same Gundawinio race there a few years ago, going along Zoo Road. Just got the swaps up, and he would have been doing an easy 130, 140 kilometres an hour, and he just rolled this thing end for end. And later on its side, he was knocked out cold. The throttle stuck wide open, and
wow.
that was a good crash. But he was fine. He got out when he came to.
Comparable to that famous Travis Pastrana end for end in the Canadian Rally. That's
that's just epic, you know. And
11 times or something.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to be a part of that.
Nah, and he jumps out. That was a hell of a ride.
Oh yeah, he would have wanted to do it again, no doubt.
Probably.
Crazy kid that he is.
That's why he's ran so many concussions, probably.
Yep.
We shouldn't be too far away now. Just starting to see the first of our dust running back in. And there he is. It's Haby. So he's had a good run. That would have been about the exact time that we'd be expecting to see him. Doesn't look like there's been too many major mistakes. And he will be the first driver through. So Haby is going to be happy with that result. We'll try and judge the distances, though, between Haby and the second place man, who, by all things, serving correctly. Just checking my list. All things correctly, that should still be Matty Curtis, then Gary Turnbull and Rob Plant. However, these 3 drivers have been so closely matched with one another, we really can't say who's going to roll through here first. We did expect Haby as the first of our drivers through here. However, we're going to look to try and pick up our second. Now, they were in minute increments, so if there is more than a minute gap here, he has definitely lost time. How about this for an unload?
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like it hit hard. It unloads almost in the air.
Yeah, it just
same off this jump here.
It just ran out of travel and just ejected it. Sort of look, way nose down and rear high. So not what you want. So maybe the boys did some adjustments in the pits afterwards. But yeah, that wouldn't have been a fun ride.
No, that's getting to the point that you're thinking, oh, maybe we're a bit. Yeah, you see that both of their heads raise up to the top part. Thinking, oh,
are we or aren't we?
That'd be a 2-wheel drive.
That's they're rear-wheel drive.
So there's no pulling out of that if you're too front heavy?
No.
Yeah.
No. You can to a similar degree. You've got a bit of control of the motocross, like you just hold it flat, keep the wheels rotating,
The centrifugal force
stops
inertia.
the further rotation there of the car. So you do have a little bit of control, but once it goes to that point of no return, then you're both passengers.
Hold on.
Hold on, indeed.
Grab your harness. There it is, Haby, and he is really tearing apart this stadium cross section at the moment. This was going to be the section that might have given Haby a little bit of problems, being the tighter, slower of the section. Of course, he does have that buggy as a commentator's curse, or what, just as I say. He's going to have troubles with this tighter section. Now, it's obviously fully set up for the long distance. We've got maybe 27 kilometres of long course circuit here, maybe 4 to 5 kilometres of short course. So he's obviously going to have it set up for those longer, bigger whoops. It's not going to make it turn like a dime, though.
No, and look, that thing's set up remarkable, and but look, you push a bit too hard, and it doesn't matter how good your car is, you're gonna blow a corner. So
everything has that bite point.
Yeah, it does. But in our vision just before there, it looks like Matt Coombs wasn't far behind Aaron. I thought Aaron had a lot more of a lead, to be honest, but it looks like the boys are doing a great job hanging in there.
Yeah, Curtis just off the back of him. He's still really not too far gone. Be looking to try and pick up some of the timing, but here he comes under the final sections of our circuit track. He's back into the stadium now, and Haby, he does still have a fairly solid lead. I wouldn't say he's pulled out the 2 to 3 minutes that I might have expected him to, though.
No, that's right, and that little bobble there earlier wouldn't have helped him his time cause either. So that would have cost him he lost a few seconds there, but. Look, it's a long track and a lot of corners, so he can make it up anywhere or lose it again. So look, who knows.
I was going to say that there's no telling that the second, third, and fourth drivers didn't also do that somewhere out on the circuit.
That's right.
That's actually a lot less than a minute gap now.
But
that's a whole lot less, because he was nearly in this end of this next section.
Yeah.
Now you'd be almost saying that break was halved. Now I'd say he lost maybe 10 to 12 seconds off his initial pace going over that corner, having to swing back around, get himself back set, find the gear.
Yep.
10 to 12 seconds, I'd say he's probably been caught around 20 seconds.
Yeah, look, and if that time can be maintained, then he'll be in front of Aaron on corrected time.
Yeah.
So then he will essentially finish the section in front of him if he can maintain that.
Well, this will be a good telltale, because that's about the moment that we lost him last time, and that car's already shot past us here in the van, so it is a whole lot closer this time around.
It's like, it's Gary Turnbull on our screens here right now, coming through the arena.
So Turnbull, still the third place driver. Now, he looks like he's actually been shaken a fair bit by Matt Curtis. So Matt Curtis, a bad initial practice time here. Didn't get off the start. Decent one in the last one. He's gone from 6th up to 2nd. And now he's reeling in Haby.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Matt Curtis there at the moment. He's doing a great job.
We'll see that next lap. These are 2-lap sprints, of course. Well, you can't really call it a sprint, but compared to tomorrow, we have 2 4-lap formats. It's going to be, you know, around an hour and 15 minutes sort of driving.
Yep.
You're going to do that twice, but make no mistake, an hour and 15 of driving one of these machines. The arms are sore, the legs are sore, the kidneys are definitely sore.
Oh, look, it's physical, you know. I mean, obviously it's not as physical as motocross or you know, any sport like that. But I mean, you're hot, you're sweating, you know, you're mentally active, you're keeping this beast in control, and it taxes the body to a degree, yeah.
I definitely felt competing in the Tats Fink Desert Race this year, mental fatigue was the bigger thing that you noticed. Was, you know, having small moments where I'd look up and think, hang on a moment, I've just faded out for a second.
Yeah.
You got a bag of lollies between you, have a little bit of sugar, mouthful of water, settles it back in, and you really do sort of feel that balancing point of I'm a bit flat, now I'm a bit hype, I'm a bit flat. You also can't get too sticky in the mouth with eating too much sugar and stuff. Otherwise, once you start breathing in that dust, it's all going bad.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess that's the luxury of having a twin seat. Well, here's the West Cowie entry. Move yourself entry there. Is he lost the track, or was he?
Does he know where he is?
He probably doesn't. Looks like he went to the old track.
We'll have to hire him a trailer to get back on the track.
He might need that. Yeah. So
he looked pretty happy to move himself.
I'll give him my business card when I see him in the pits.
Yeah, not a bad idea there. Yeah, following the old track there. And that's the other thing about this dust here. You're going to be running off the track for 5Ks. There's that many tracks here, and especially out in the bush section. If you take one suspect left turn, you might be 10 minutes gone before you even realise that you're not on the actual track. Yeah, look, you know, you've really got to keep your wits about you, and hopefully your navigator knows what you're doing, and if you don't as a driver, then you're both in trouble.
Then you're both in trouble.
We are really seeing that dust settle in, and that's pretty bad out there now.
Yeah,
cameras really don't show it a whole lot of justice, but I promise you drive through that, you can't see a single thing.
No, it is hard work indeed, but looks like West Cowie there. He's car's handling quite well through this section here, so he'd be pretty annoyed at himself. He would have lost a bit of time there with that little bobble there and that taking that wrong turn. So
yeah, that's that 15 to 20 seconds that you really can't cost up too much, especially around this top 5 competition. All these cars are very much of a muchness, so you know, you're talking 5 or 6 seconds in a lap can really switch the way of first to third.
Absolutely. Looking really, really smooth and clean.
You know, he's looking very solid here. There's a big gap in front of him, so he's going to have to make up a whole lot of time. Not really sure if the driver that took off in front of him may have had a mistake, but there is a big gap in front of Wes at the moment. He did give up a little bit of time in that corner, but not too much. He's still not out of this.
No, he's definitely in the contention there, and I'm really impressed with how he's driving there at the moment. He's keeping it smooth. I mean, look, like I said, he'll be annoyed at his little mistake there, but and just back to our comment about keeping that zone while you're racing. You know, I mean, just that split second of loss of concentration, it can cost you, you know, costly time errors such as that one.
And then you add the element of wearing a full fireproof race suit in 30-degree conditions with the dust and everything else going on. It really is a big mental game. That was the one thing I definitely noticed about the buggy as opposed to motocross. The motocross, the forearms and the core blow out first.
Yep.
Buggy racing, it was definitely the mind that went first.
Yeah.
It's definitely got to be so focused. You know, these machines, that's a lot of horsepower under a machine with 4 wheels. You're traveling around a very rough circuit.
Yep.
You need to be so focused because it can only take one small rock, hit the front left wheel, unpitch you, and it can be all over from there. I mean, Whateleys, he was on the start straightening it for ended 5 times.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly how fast it can happen.
That's the first the X3s. Now, I don't believe I saw Toby Whateleys come through.
No.
We haven't seen Toby come through.
Haven't seen Toby come through, no. Hopefully.
Now, he was your 4th driver to take off, so he should have been right in front of Wes. And
yeah, he took off with
was the
Wes.
driver in front of Wes.
That's right. It's exactly. No, we haven't seen Toby, so hopefully
hopefully not a Whateleys curse here with the both drivers.
No, we definitely don't want that. So hopefully it's just a minor incident there, but maybe we might get some information fed to us here in the van. So we'll see.
Definitely haven't seen him come through here. A couple of other drivers here. They're all going off the track now.
And if he's lost, he's following him too.
Well, that's because all the tyre marks now are just following that section. Wow, he's gone the complete wrong way.
Yep, Chris has really lost there. So
I think he's just cut off about a minute of the track.
Yeah, look, the dust wouldn't help either. You know, you just can't see. They
have no idea where the track goes.
No, they don't know where they're going. It's not easy from the driver's position there. Exactly.
Every driver's following that one drive.
And then you lose your bearings of where you are, and because there's so many tracks there, you just go, well, which one's the racetrack?
So what would happen here in a situation like this? Would there be penalties relegated here for?
Look, that's up to the event director, Murray Rogers. He'll assess.
Here we go. He's turning around on the start straight. So there's absolute shambles here inside the arena.
Yeah. So look, that'll need to be addressed and assessed of how they got to it, where they are, and what kind of time advantage they got from, I guess, a course deviation that would be deemed as.
We'll see how many of these buggies continue to do it. Looks like the brake's coming on there for our next buggy as well.
And then you can hold it there for... I try not to hold it there for longer than 20 seconds. You can just pull.
All right, so the
very treacherous hot conditions up here, especially in this van.
Yes.
The sweat is well and truly flowing, and it looks like those conditions out there, that wind, it really is dying off. Comes up a little bit breezy and just nothing. And as this track really starts to dust out, drivers unsure where they're going. We see all three trucks there doing the exact same thing. So
yeah, no, there's some confusion there around that area. So maybe the event operators might need to look at that corner, maybe put some extra bit of track marking for tomorrow. So just in case that the drivers might get that confused again.
There's going to be a whole lot of time given up there. We see a bunch more of our drivers coming back into the stadium area. We'll be looking to pick up some more of our X3s around this next moments, I think. And then, of course, we'll move on to our YXZs and our Class 7s. Still waiting for that VT to come around.
Your favourite
driver
VT
here off the track.
Yeah, that's the V6 Buick entry. Looks like has he found the track yet? Or
I think he went the same as the other drivers. He went right and then left.
Yeah, then he found it. Yeah, it's Todd Lehman. That's the one. In the,
well, that Can-Am, we saw that come in maybe 5 minutes ago. So he's done a bunch of loops trying to figure out where the track goes. The hard thing now, though, with all the tyre lines going the exact same direction, why would you not follow them? Of course, that's where the track goes.
Yeah,
so.
You just get that disorientation happening with the dust and all these tracks, and it can get difficult. It's happened to me before in the past.
Especially with everything, it's pretty much the same colour, other than the bearings of like where the tents are, and you don't know the tavern down here. You leave this circuit area, it all looks pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, look, the worst thing you want is to try and go into the path of an oncoming car, so that the boys have got to keep that in mind and make sure that they realise they're off. They get off and find the course as quick as possible.
So the Buick there making light work of the Maverick X3. We would expect that to be seen, though. Whole lot more horsepower under the V6 Buick engine, and of course that of the X3. However, make no mistake, these X3s, they are absolute rocket ships.
Yeah, the unique ability with the X3s is just getting that power to the ground. They really they squat really well, and like I said earlier, I'm just very impressed with the overall package of what they are.
Even watching him hit the whoops there, it's a lot less suspension technology than we saw in that one.
Yeah.
There's the NRGTV rig, though. Jake Williams are starting to roll into the circuit now. We will see if he's going to elect to take that same wrong line. He looks like he's made a position there on one of the drivers. Oh, I just heard one of the buggies come past us, and something definitely squeaking on that machine.
That was a squeak.
This is the team of 6639 of Jake and Christine Williams. Mother and son, of course. Jake, the driver, is in this circuit section. I believe he actually went the right way around that track.
Yeah,
so
he looks
drivers
like
now have actually found that track again. It might actually have been a marshal drive out there and, start directing people again, as it was 5 to 6. You can see the buggies down there, so they are down there redirecting the track.
Yeah.
Jake Williams, though, we'll see how tight my mum's holding on in there. I'm sure those hands are clenched around the hold-on bar.
Yeah, getting the ride of her life, no doubt.
No doubt at all. He's going to look to swing left through the whoops, so he has made up a couple of positions that lap around. So he has a made work of Aaron Parker, and I believe you got Justin Battersby as well. So just rocketing into there. Loves to steer with the rear end of this. Of course, the 6-speed sequential gearbox. You really can rev these engines. Base this off a 996 snowmobile engine. Absolute rocket ships. You really can drive them hard in the corners with a lot less weight than a lot of the buggies out there in class.
Yeah. That thing, like Jake really pushed that well over those whoops. I mean, that chassis just sort of stayed level and the wheels were doing all the work. That was really impressive.
Looks like it's handling really well.
Yeah.
A little bit springy there, you know, in the back end, but
the real
these
big
bumps
bumps
are getting bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like in the real big bumps, it's definitely unloading the rear though. But I mean, look, hey, well, it's a big ask, you know, to hit holes that deep at that speed.
He's light over the rear end wheels. He has made up that position in that lap though, and he's already dropped the 616 machine. And we're going to go on to just trying to pick up the numbers at that little Polara. Indeed it is. Probably one of the favourite cars in the rig. Looks like the back end's been cut off it. The horsepower, however, has not been cut out of it. This thing is an absolute rocket ship. And it handles really well too. I keep coming back to it, but how short the wheelbase is on that for it not to be pogoey and really jump back and forward.
Yeah, the boys have done a great job setting that UTV up there. It's really holding its own.
So Jake Williams, we've just got the update. He has indeed passed 3 drivers in that one. He's actually leading the UTVs out right now, so I believe he's actually passed all the Can-Am X3s in Superlight B. So on corrected time, he will now be the fastest of the UTVs. This man, however, is a man that wants to change that. It's a 655 machine. It's very, very warm conditions. Of course, Nick Jackson, Lauren Johnson out there in the Polaris. Almost need a little squeegee brush up here to try and get some of this sweat off. It's very, very hot up here.
Yeah, a fan with a hose going to it. I reckon.
Anybody that watches the MotoGP, they know it doesn't get this hot where I live. Here it comes through though, the Polaris. Yeah,
look through the whoops. Just hold it pinned.
655 machine. He's coming through there showing in 17th position. So that was actually the driver behind Jake Williams. He took off a minute behind Jake, and he really has shaken the wheel off them. However, the Polaris is still in there in contention. Look to see where he is. It's Nick Jackson. Outright's going to be 16th. I believe he'll be about 3rd in class. Your outright running order, though. Matt Curtis out front on corrected time. Matt Curtis now has the lead.
So that little bobble there that Aaron had coming through into the stadium area, that did cost him some valuable time.
So Matt Curtis through there, 23.25. We had Haby doing a 23.28, so we're talking 3 seconds the difference there.
Wow.
We go back to Robbie Plant, who was our second fastest qualifier, 23.40 to a 23.45. And we go to Wes Cowie. He's on a 24.30, so that mistake where he did drop 20 seconds out the back of the track. That's what's going to be dropping him off the backside. And we go back to Cameron McCullen, Daniel Lamb, Chris Johnson, Jake Williams there in 9th, and then Steve Jones is going to wrap out your top 10. So the outright top 10s are very hotly contested. In the Superlight B, I believe it's going to be Aaron Parker in that all-black machine out there. But indeed, we have lost Toby Whately. He has not come around from that first lap, so he's dropped at least 20, 30 minutes. You would have to think that's a major problem. Yeah,
that's no good at all there, so I'll be very interested to see what's going on there with Toby. But just on screen there, we've got the 681 entry of Jason Favell, and the X3 there.
He's currently your 5th placed X3 driver. Getting along there very, very well. Now, the lap times here, so much of a muchness. All riders between where they're standing, there's only 2 to 3 seconds between most of the riders here.
It's not bad out of a 30+ K loop there, Aidan. You know, that's some good racing.
Moving, yeah, for sure. You see, just swinging past the NIG TV van now. Of course, the 681 machine. It's Jason Favell. He's just come through the finish line now. Going to look to drive it long and hard into this corner. Try and set up early. Now, this corner is really starting to blow out. You're heavy under brakes coming down into a berm turn. It's pretty much everything to set up a big bowl.
Yeah, that's quite rutted now through that berm. So that'll either help settle the chassis through that turn, being those ruts there, Doug, or if someone comes in there just that little bit too quick, it'll just bike and they'll roll over the other side of it. So we'll see what happens.
So very dusty conditions out there. We are bit more than halfway through this one, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the fastest time of the day so far is going to be that 23:25. And only a 3-second drop down there to the big LS2 Chevy of Aaron Haby.
Yeah, very impressed with old Curtis. They're doing a great job. I mean, if you can hold your own against an Aaron Haby, mistake or not, that's well done. That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, there was a mistake there by Haby that we reckon cost him about 10 seconds. So that'd be fairly much of a muchness on time.
Yeah.
We are on board with Nick Burt and, of course, Alex Burt. Around 4th place in class, I believe. Just trying to get the hammer down. And it looks like a real struggle for these bigger buggies to get around this short course circuit. So unloading on the rear shocks and really struggling to get those front wheels to turn. Of course, there's so much weight over the rear wheels as you expect it to squat. Unfortunately, when you're under brakes and trying to get that front end down, you really don't have a whole lot of traction. So you're going to need to use the acceleration of that power, of the engine, I should say, to really turn you around. And we see that very often in these buggies. Yeah,
look, it's almost a balancing act of accelerator and throttle, because you want to transfer the weight from the rear to the front coming into the turns to try and get that bit extra grip over the front. Getting on the gas too early mid-corner with the rear-engine car, it's just going to lift the front and push. So it's a fine line there to get the entry right, to get the weight transfer over the front so you can actually turn the car and then accelerate coming out. So it's always a good idea in an off-road car to sort of be almost not slow in, but nice and medium-paced in and then fast out, so you can really get that chassis settled.
Really, so get that entry speed a little slower, set yourself up a little better.
Set yourself up to go
early.
through the corner faster, yep.
We are getting to the pointy end of this one. It's not going to be too long before we see Haby scroll back around again. So it's been about 15 minutes since that last lap, so we're looking to see him in another 5 to 6 minutes. And we're talking about he had clear track. Well, how about it for these back markers?
Yeah.
He's going to be coming through quite a number of them.
Yeah, no, that's not fun there to get hooked up in all that dust, but you know, it's the same for everyone there if you're struggling. So, but you just got to do your best and adapt to the conditions.
The conditions at the moment, dry and hot, though we are starting to see a little bit of cloud cover come over. I don't think there's any rain in it. We'll be waiting to see. And you're starting to see all the headlights and the tail lights and stuff all lit up on these trucks. They know it's dusty out there. They want to be seen. And you can just see, just to the right-hand side of the screen, just this little dot and a massive dust trail.
Yeah, that's thick. Yeah, now look, you really rely on your competitors' dust light in front of you in the dust, because you can almost come to a complete stop in the middle of the track, you know, and it's not fun if you come up on someone and they're almost stopped. So you really got to look for those dust lights in the dust.
As he comes through there, that's going to be Nick Burt. He will have taken some time out there. Now, the next one to come through is going to be Darren Hills. We have a bit of a B-grade direction here with the show at the moment. We just don't know what's going to happen. We expect Haby to be coming around. However, Curtis, he was that 5 seconds quicker in the last one. Can he do it again?
Yeah, this will be interesting there. If he can back it up with the first from the first lap, well then I'm super impressed there. But yeah, it'll be tall order.
What a race we have had out here, and it's been excellent footage. Hope you're enjoying all the action as we are in the back of the van here. It's looking absolutely stellar, the filming of the drivers, and of course all this hard-hitting action that we do love to see. What a show NRG TV is able to put on for you here at the 2017 annual Loveday 350. The car, though, that I cannot stop talking about is this VT Commodore. The fact that he has made it through 35 kilometres of desert to come back in here to the stadium, he's got to be pumped.
God, it's great effort, you know, and good on the boys. And
is that Haby behind him?
I believe that is, yeah, coming up to lap him.
Okay, so he's going to get put a one lap down. You'd expect Haby to make fairly light work of the VT through here, and indeed it does. He puts the hammer down. You just see the amount of acceleration once he gets on that harder surface.
Yeah, look, there's nothing like horsepower and suspension in off-roading, you know. You just, it trumps all.
It's your bread and butter of racing.
Yes, it is.
I think I want to do this event in a VT.
Mate, you should do it in a
Oh,
VT.
I'd have that much fun in a
Hey,
VT.
you grab Jake and say, right, Jake, you can run shotgun now. I'm driving,
If
and
I'm
we're
doing
going
it
to do
with
it.
Jake, I need like a VL turbo or something, maybe.
That's Carl Haby in the geyser truck there. Looks like he's changed his transmission. He's back into it.
Straight back into it.
Straight back into it. Great effort, great achievement for the Element Off-Road race team there to get that Geyser Brothers truck there off and running again.
Now we have one of the Superlight A's about to come through. Should be the 6637 of Wayne Callis, and indeed it is going to be. Interested to see who the first of our top trucks is to come through here, though, because we just saw Haby right on the back of the VT. Did we miss potentially Curtis coming through, or is the pass being made out the back?
I don't know if a pass has been made on Aaron. I believe that would probably just be corrected time.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that. So I would say they would still have maintained their track positions, but just the corrected time is what probably put Matt Curtis. That going part, that's Carl Haby there, just going out to into the back paddock there.
No, that's not Haby. His truck's green.
No, Aaron Haby, they're brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got the two
yeah.
Haby boys out there. Yep. So we'll be interested to see. Aaron should be coming into the arena area very shortly.
So that should be the 4, 5, 6 machine of Carl coming through there. And then it really can't be too long until our top guys are coming through. We have seen them start to come into the initial part of the circuit stadium. And from there, it's only around that 2 to 3 minutes, and they're coming through to the finish line. Of course, the whoops, the technical part for all these drivers out here, as we are still on board with the 6637 of Wayne Callis, South Australian local. I'm sure he's done a couple of laps around here. It looks like there's Haby right up on the back of Grover. So the old cruiser running a very wide line there.
Doing the gentleman thing and letting Aaron through. So that's.
I think he heard that Chevy coming.
Yeah. You can't not hear that Chevy coming. Yeah, it's just like an angry line.
Well, that's a production car. He's got a good rear view mirror and everything.
Yeah,
he doesn't even have blind spots.
That's right. So it looks like Aaron's has finished his section there, and we'll be interested to see the time there and see if he's managed to pull away from Curtis there and take that top spot again.
I think it's definitely looked like he has opened up that lead.
Yeah, it definitely looks like
Curtis just coming in.
Believe that
now.
is,
So,
yes.
I mean, we're talking 4 or 5 minutes here that Curtis may have lost. We talked about the mistake from Haby in the first section.
Yep.
There it is. Same sort of thing can happen to anyone.
That's right.
And indeed, Haby has come through there. He's taken 18 seconds out of his first lap. He's gone to 23.28 now to a 23 minutes and 10 seconds. Of course, the first lap for Matt Curtis was a 23.25. He's going to need to improve on that quite a bit, but at the moment, I think it's been too long already. We haven't seen him drive through. Is it? It's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is.
So there we see as Grover punches off into the distance, still waiting for Matt Curtis, and well, there he is, a 23.35. He's dropped 10 seconds out. So now a corrected time. There's 20 seconds separating first and second. Now, of course, that looks like Gary Turnbull, is it?
Gary Turnbull coming through the last jump. He'll be finished his section now, I believe.
Yep, so that's going to conclude it there for Gary Turnbull. He's just put his second lap time in. Now, of course, he did lose the position on the corrected time to Robert Plant in that first one. Oh, the VTs.
VT's
looks like it's had a tap.
It's got a bit of, it's a little bit wounded there on that rear bumper.
I'd be happy if I just did a desert race and my Commodore came back looking like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not too
Good
bad
effort.
At all. I've seen a guy go down the start straight and look worse than that earlier today.
Yeah, only 350 metres. That's right.
Loveday 350.
That's right. We'll put an M on the X to it, on the end of it for next year.
He won it, I think. I think he was the quickest to that point.
Yeah.
Of course, our next man that we will be looking for will be Robert Plant now. It's not a bad second lap time here for Gary Turnbull. He has taken out about 8 seconds of that first one. He's going to put him around that exact same time. Actually, a couple of seconds quicker than Plant did in the first one. So if Plant maintains his time but can't improve it, they will be very well tied up here for the times. Corrected time now, of course, gap to leader is going to be 46 seconds for Gary Turnbull, so still inside that minute behind. Of course, we're 70 kilometres into this 350-kilometre track, and you look at those dust trails just starting to pour off the back wheels.
Yeah, no, it's no fun to be in amongst those dust trails there, but looks like is that the 191 Move Yourself entry of West Cowie coming into the arena area? I think he is coming in. Yeah, I think Plant, did he? I think I saw him pull in, I think finish his section, I believe, Aiden, but
I know it's just showing him as come through there, so he's dropped a minute in that time there.
Right.
He'll go a minute 5 seconds down, so he's only just finished up his. He's going to bring a Wes in as the next guy, and you know he looks like he has caught up a fair bit of ground in this one. It was not the best section there from Plant, so we'll see if Cowie can get the position here on corrected time.
Yeah, very interested to see how he went on the corrected time. Yeah, yeah.
No mistake here. He's going the right way around the circuit. He's going to swing right and come back into this tightest part of our circuit section just before he swings over the finish line. And that will conclude him there for this afternoon. Not a whole lot left.
Yeah, old West Cowie there lives, breathes and dreams off-road racing. He just works his normal job and works on buggies. That's all he does.
Lives for it?
He lives for it. He loves it.
How can you not? You only need to go in one of these buggies just one time. I guarantee you'll be down at the local dealer the next day. Or
yep, getting a fix.
Coin, you'll be in the US bringing back a Jimco.
That's right.
Very, very rough too. You're starting to see those rocky sections really break out now under the surface.
Yep.
So Wes is coming through his final turn now. He's going to look to punch in a bit better lap time this time. Was a little bit off the pace in the last one. Not too much, around that 15 to 20 seconds. And as he is now punched through his final lap, just as we're waiting for the times to come up. See if he has gone down. So it was Turnbull able to make the pass on Plant. Plant a little too slow in that second section, and he's given up the position. This is what we're saying. We've already changed the leader once, second, third, fourth. The top 5 have all switched positions.
Great race, and over 70 kilometres too. It's just that's close racing. It's real close racing.
Now he hasn't moved anywhere. He will remain in that 5th place. However, this lap around was 17 seconds quicker than his last time around. So that mistake that we did see to start losing where the track was going.
Excellent.
He's been able to get back up there, take 15 seconds out, and he's going to sit there 2 minutes behind our leader. So Haby, a couple of minutes clear of Cowie. Next one should be Cameron McCullen. We'll be waiting to see. Nice, big long look at the Loveday circuit out here. And Loveday, we all know it is a race meeting, but make no mistake, it is not a race meeting. It is a 4x4 adventure park for all of you outdoors enthusiasts. Whether you're into your four-wheel driving, buggy racing, come down and twist a stick into a bit of wood and try and light a fire if you want. Of course, you got the river down there, get some boating done. Right. All the fishing wants you could ever need. And, of course, just come down. It's beautiful weather, sunny, 364 days of the year.
Yep. And you can also bring your VT down and have a slide around the track.
Now, that one I wouldn't have thought you could have done, but apparently... Taking a look, the next one should be McCullen there. I believe it's actually the 77 of Daniel Lamb. So, Lamb on track position coming through there before McCullen.
He looks at it, quite a trouble-free run there, which is good to see.
That's where that VT lost its panel just
there we go.
At the start of the straight.
That's the start of the straight. Yeah, that would be a G out, no doubt, and just in a whoop. Would have clipped that bumper and ripped it straight off.
Surely it can't take too much to bottom out in a VT.
No, I wouldn't imagine so with that kind of travel.
So there it is, coming across the line once again. It was going to be Daniel Lamb. He's come through with a 24.54. And he's taken 20 seconds out of his last time around. Cameron McCullen did come through just after him, though, so we'll see who's held that position. And is indeed McClellan who's held that position. He's going to sit only 2.5 seconds clear at the moment, so not a whole lot in that at all. Over 70 kilometres, we're talking massive sand, dunes, whoops, rocks, trees, dust, everything. After 70 k's, there's only 2 seconds in it. That's
remarkable. Yeah, there really is.
Next one around should be the 122 machine. Chris Johnson, I believe. And then we'll be getting into the first of our super light A's, of course. Jake Williams there. He should be the next one to come around. So we'll be watching to see as these guys come back into the circuit if they've held their positions. Drivers obviously getting a little more spaced out as we step down in the lower engine capacity classes.
Yeah.
Some very big long straights on this circuit, and some of the buggies are not able to get the power down the way they'd like to.
No, and there's the 122 entry there of Chris and Colin Johnson. They definitely got the track right that time. Didn't take that wrong turn either. So yeah, apart from that mistake, they appears they've had quite a good trouble-free run.
They're going to be looking to punch through to the finish line here. There's going to be a few turns to go. I'm going to put this one in the books. Obviously, not the start to this one that he wanted. It's been very, very costly for him indeed. He probably gave up 20 to 30 seconds and then a couple of U-turns on the track. Taking a look at his time, he's actually a 26 minute and 9 seconds, so he's a full minute off everybody around him. I'll be looking to see him come in here at a solid 25.
Yeah. Now look, that was a very costly mistake for him earlier, and look, what do you do? There's still a lot more racing tomorrow, more action to come. So and it gives all the drivers an opportunity to make up, for so a couple of mistakes done today. So yeah, look, it's still anyone's game.
Well, the mistakes haven't been there for this kid yet. Looks like it's a 6639 machine about to swing into our stadium. Taking a look at the second time there, however, from Chris Johnson. And indeed, he has improved upon it a whole bunch. He went a 26.09 to a 25.08. So he's actually dropped an entire minute out of his time.
Looks like the 1166 entry. Steve Jones, yeah. So he obviously had some issues finding that particular part of the circuit there earlier. Hopefully he's all good for this time as well.
He was actually on circuit behind Jake Williams, so not sure what's happened there, whether Williams has had a malfunction or a problem. But he should have been the next one coming into our circuit area. It is at the moment going to be Chris Johnson, however. Steve Jones that we are on board with. And that looks like Jake Williams there, is it? Yep, that's the NRG TV machine. No, that's an X3.
That is an X3, so he may, hopefully it's nothing major there happened to young Williams, but hopefully we see him on our screen soon.
Now, don't worry about Jake, but I want my mum back.
Yeah, who's going to cook tea or tuck you into bed tonight?
Tuck me into bed, we'll leave it there.
I will leave it there, okay.
So that was actually the first of our X3s. I believe that's Adam Beale coming through there. Now, there has been big problems for Williams because all these drivers starting to come through around 2.5 minutes slower than him the last time around. So, big mistake here, and he's given up a whole bunch of time. Actually, taking a quick look at the times, he will be dropping major positions. Yeah, Steve Jones has indeed put the pass on him, and that means he's given up at least 3 minutes, going a minute before in the first one, dropping 30 seconds and now being relegated. And Todd Lehman's about to come through, who was 4 minutes down on him. So this one's going to be costly for Williams.
Indeed. Interesting to see what actually happened to him when he gets back to the pits.
Oh, he'll be dirty.
Definitely.
He hasn't lost a race yet.
Really? He hasn't lost a race yet?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, he would
actually,
be really
blew up
dirty.
at the last round of the ASA. It blew up. His buggy blew up in the last race. He went 1-1-1 DNF.
Oh, no.
He wasn't happy.
He wouldn't happy. Hopefully he doesn't now go another series of three DNFs for him. So hopefully he can get it back going again.
That looks a bit like a Yamaha on the edge. Be looking, the X3 looking very similar to Williams is there. No, that's definitely an X3, I believe. Yeah, so that's going to be Beale coming through there. That should be the 666 machine, I believe, of Adam Beale, which means we've lost Declan Cummings, Justin Battersbury, Todd Lehman, and Jake Williams. So, not really sure what's happened out the back there. Maybe another error with going the wrong way on the track.
Possibly, yeah. We don't have any race comms or track comms here in the van to keep everybody updated. But, yeah, hopefully it's nothing major.
That will be the 681 machine of Jason Favell. Or the 666 of Beale. That's the 666 of Beale. So Adam Beale there, he's moved up a whole bunch of positions. He's laid down a very good lap out there this time around. Can-Am X3 handles very, very well indeed. I just love the travel. The rear end of these looks like it just floats across the top.
Yeah, he's pushing it
He's
to
ran
all
wide.
of the limits.
He's brought some dust out of the top of that corner, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Feathers that one. He's going to swing into the last corner, and this one is going to be the final turn for Adam Beale. If you're watching from at home, give it up for him. I believe I can see the NRG TV buggy there, so he's given up at least 10 to 15 minutes there, Jake Williams. That's going to be costly. He'll be on the edge, though, at the moment, I reckon.
Yeah, if he's had an off or something, he'd be out to make up time. So I think your mum will be getting an extra through ride there, Aiden.
So as they do come through, we're just going to refresh up the times here. Jake Williams, 9th to 12th there, so he's giving it up to Declan Cummings. Adam Beale moving down there. Actually, don't have him showing. Actually, he's gone faster.
Faster. That's always a good
He
thing.
went faster. He went to 9th. Now, he's come in behind a lot of buggies that he took off in front of, but he's gone faster. That's conflicting, but oh well.
Corrected time. Yeah, he may have pipped him on corrected time there, and that's placed him where he's currently sitting.
So he's actually gone 15 seconds quicker that time around.
Wow.
He's dropped into that 26.12. And no, on the charge at the moment, is it the
616 entry there.
Just taking a look for the 616 machine. That's Aaron Parker. Of course, Anya Strauss in there. Anya girl, she actually navied for my teammate up at Fink, a local girl from Loveday, good friends with Toby and Tony out here. Came out in an exchange program, I believe. Liked it, stayed here, loved it. Been here 3 years now, hasn't really left the whole area of where we are right now. So
fantastic.
Spent a good bit of time here, and she absolutely loves her buggy racing. Now I'm talking about a 5'3", 52-kilo girl here that absolutely lives for her buggy racing. This is what we say: anyone can get out there and try this. Go down. If you have a friend that maybe has a buggy, or just get out there, try it one time, and you will not look back. There is not a single look over your shoulder once you've been strapped behind the wheel of one of these carts.
Yeah, and it's very much a team sport, you know. You've got obviously yourself as a driver, if you're a driver, and your co-driver, but then all your buddies, your mechanics, your family can all come out, and that's what it's all about.
How's this for an update of the timing? Todd Lehman, I believe it is. He's lost his wheel out there, so it's come up on the timing. Don't think he'll be finishing this one if he's lost a wheel.
No, they don't run real good on 3 wheels there, Aiden. They definitely love their 4 wheels.
Should be looking for the likes of Justin Battersby or Tyson Proud potentially to be the next ones around.
Such a great panoramic view there of the 4x4 Adventure Park there. A dust-free view for a change there, Aiden, until the next car comes through, of course.
It's unheard of in the last 4 or 5 hours out here. Really was sweltering conditions out here. It seems like it's dropped off a little bit now. That heat of the mid part of the day has dropped out. But I'll tell you what, between around 1:30 and 4 o'clock up here, there's not a single breath of wind, and that track just kept baking out. Event organisers trying to get water down, but pretty much watching the water evaporate as they laid it on the surface.
Yeah, it kept us down to a degree, but it's not sustainable.
You see another one of our X3s. Now, I'll be interested to see what's happened to Toby Whately here, because he still hasn't come around. He's obviously DNF'd out of this one, but that would put Tony and Toby out. Now, we know he's such a brilliant driver, so you wonder possibly an engine malfunction, or the brilliance of how fast he can really go might have clipped and he's dead.
Yeah, we don't hope that's happened, but that's definitely a possibility out there for anyone, for that matter, out there racing, because of the trees and the proximity to the trees with the track. But yeah, look, let's hope it's just a fuel pump or a minor mechanical issue that he can fix and head back out for the action tomorrow.
If there'd be anyone I think could fix their own buggy, I think it's Toby Whately too.
Oh yeah, he's definitely good with the spanners.
Knows his way around. We're starting to see a few more of the Polarises. Some of the light classes come in now. We are around that 23rd position. And our next man around, is that going to be...
That's the cut-off rear razor there, Adam.
The 681 machine. No. He's disappeared off my sheet.
The 655 entry there, that Polaris RZR.
So that's going to be Nick Jackson. He's 10 cars down from the one that was meant to come through. So we're seeing a lot of dicing out there in that back section, especially with the corrected time, the way that works. So as the 655 machine of Jackson comes through the line, he's going to tick off his day out there today. He really has been out on an absolute flyer the whole time.
So we've got Tyson Proud coming into view now there, the 282 entry, Proud Engines entry there of Tyson Proud. So it looks like he's running quite smooth and quite clean, and we're interested to see where he positions there on the timesheets.
As Proud does come through, we currently having showing at 16th position. He dropped a 27.55 in that first lap around. Can we see him improve on that? He's only got one more jump. He's going to power all the way through the finish line. As we pick it up, there it is. He's remained in that same position. We have to wait for a few of these drivers to come through. Obviously, with the corrected times taking off in all different positions, anything really can and does happen.
Does happen, indeed.
So looking for the remaining 10 of our drivers. Just running through, though, with Carl Haby and Matt Coombs. They were not able to start this one, so that's why we didn't see the ute out there. They didn't. Then we go to Rod Holmes. He's DNF'd with a ball joint. And to Paul Walsh, he's in the pits. Toby Whately, he has stopped, so the buggy has indeed stopped, so he's not finished. Doug Carthrough didn't start, and also Tony Whately didn't start. So just at the bottom of our sheet here, we have all the riders that are having problems. Ball joint there, DNS. Obviously, we've seen a couple of little bingles out there. But obviously, the direction there for Toby Whately, who we don't know what's happened. His engine stopped. So
yeah, that's not good.
Especially if you're 30 k's out the back.
Yeah, it's a long way.
Big walk.
The big walk.
Next one through now, that was Jason Favell. Now, he has maintained his position there in 14th place. As he comes through, he's maintained enough speed. He has gone back up on Tyson Proud and Dallas Crowther. Next driver through. Looking around that 19th place now. And drivers really starting to space out a whole bunch.
Yeah, so we're interested to know the exact number of cars still out on the track, still racing, and that need recovery. There's we've got quite a few four-wheel drives that are out there in the track doing recovery there, Aidan. So to tow the injured cars back to the pits. So yeah, we'd be very interested to see how long that takes and how many are actually stuck out there.
Good to see so many volunteers getting out here,
Yeah.
helping out with the collection of it, whether it be broken down or broken down or crashed buggies.
Yep.
Even you might just stop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, look, and the recovery.
Got to put fuel in it.
Anything can and does happen, like we've been saying. So, but the recovery crew do a fantastic job for us in off-road racing, and we couldn't run these events without the good people that do our recovery for us.
Darren Ingham just came across the line there. He posted a 29-minute lap this time around. He's maintained his 18th place position. The only one that could be a little bit of trouble for him is Justin Battersby. However, I believe he should have come through quite a long time ago.
Another one that might have fallen trapped to the attrition, so and may have a mechanical issue going on out there. So let's hope there's nothing too serious there.
Should be starting to see a few of our 1600s coming across the line now. 4 or 5 of them before we get to the category 7 cars, the best ones out there, really.
Yeah.
Actually, I think most of them went a lap down, didn't they? So
Yes.
now, what happens with that? With elected allotted time, if they didn't even get to do a second lap, how do you accumulate their time for an overall?
Well, there's a total allocated time that the event organisers allow. And if you've haven't had an issue and you happen to fall outside of that allocated time, then even if you've got another lap to do, they'll pull you in because you've gone past that allocated time. So there is a time limit.
Beyond that, though, we talk about the likes of Haby, who was our last driver to take off. He takes off 20 minutes behind his brother.
Yep.
Loses 10 minutes. Gets over lap, can't do the second lap. How does he still score points to try and win the race? Like, taking off that far behind, sure, he wouldn't be over the allotted time, only being 10 minutes slower, but he will go a lap down. Actually, if he takes off 20 minutes behind, he only needs to lose 6 minutes and he's gone a lap down.
Yeah, look, it depends on how the organisers structure the points allocations exactly, but look, it all sort of works out at the end of the weekend, the end of the wash, depending on how many laps they do versus how many they didn't do, and because I believe that each sections are awarded points based on those sections, so it all accumulates to the end of the weekend.
We're looking for a couple more of our 1600s to come through. Of course, the last one that did come through was Nick Burt. Next one should be Justin Batterby, but he's still not on screen. And
so that's Darren. Is that Darren Hilly there coming into coming at the end of the big straight there? So looks like he's managed to keep himself keep himself clean and his nose clean there to bring it home.
The 555 machine of Hilly.
Yeah,
the drivers here really found each other on the back wheel.
Yeah.
This is when we talk about it's so hard to drive in the dust. If you're right behind someone, the dust hasn't lifted enough yet. If you're 20, 30 metres behind someone, you're in a lot of trouble.
You are indeed. Carl Haby there just coming up on that driver there. I mean, he's actually got a slight advantage with the dust being in the Geyser Brothers Trophy truck. I mean, you're actually higher off the ground. Yep. You're sitting higher than all of the smaller cars. So if you are behind a buggy that's a little bit lower, kicking the dust, you've got a little bit of advantage of sight. So.
A bit sideways there.
Yeah, that's a pretty gnarly whoop section through there.
I drove through there yesterday with Tony, and he said these ones are going to be the one to watch. And indeed they were, though. These front whoop section almost claiming more today. It's a big, deep, gnarly section.
It is. So that's the 555 entry of Darren Hilly. Yep.
Hilly in the circuit section now. He's only going to be a couple of corners away before he comes through. We've got a few more rocket ships out there to come through yet. Still got the likes of Battersby, however, we haven't seen him in quite a while. Cruz Jenkins has busted a wheel off as well out there, so he's not going to be coming around. So that does put Darren Hilly as the next guy, so he, by right, should be the next guy if Battersby is down, which with a 25-minute lap time the first time around, putting him around 7th, I don't think he's going to come through now.
No, there'll definitely be a tall order there, and there's a couple of wheels falling off, so the track must be pretty rough out there, and must have some gotcha little areas there, so which a couple of them have fallen victim to.
Hilly, though, definitely not falling victim. He's only going to have 2 turns to go before he takes the checkered flag in this one and go back, reset, go back to the drawing board and come out here swinging for tomorrow. That corner's really blown out.
Yeah, ran a little bit wide. It's all soft and powdery there on the outside because the cars have really moved that dirt from the inside to the out. But, yeah, just pushed and bogged it down.
Nice, smooth jump. First one. Second one done, and that's going to wrap it up for Hilly. He's going to come through the finish line. Looking for some more times.
Got old Carl Haby there coming through into the stadium area. He's got that thing running sweet now.
Running very smooth. Just taking a look there at the times. Hilly around that same lap time as he did the last time. Only a few seconds off. 5 to 6, in fact. That next one through. Maybe the 721? That be potentially the 216 of Walsh. That's a 456.
Yeah, that's Carl Haby there in the 456 Mickey Thompson Geyser Brothers Trophy truck there.
Which is interesting because Carl Haby hasn't actually registered a first lap, so he might have taken off halfway through this one and just going to register the one lap.
Yep. I believe I'm not 100% sure how the points are scored lap-wise, but he may get points for this lap completed. So
take a look at his lap time. Just rolled through the finish line as a 58.50, so 25 minutes off. That's actually his accumulated times. The transponder loop just hasn't worked that first time around, because that would put him right in around that 27-minute lap time for both of them, which is right where he is.
Yep.
Next one through should be the 231. So that's Battersby there. So Justin Battersby, did he just take off far at the end of the field and making his way back?
Yeah, we did take off 14th there, Battersby, so...
Yeah, he's gone a 41-minute lap that time around, so he's actually dropped about 17 minutes off his first lap time.
So he must have had an issue there.
I mean, that's wheel-changing sort of time. That's 17 to 20 minutes. You can do a fair bit to these buggies in 20 minutes when you're in a rush.
Could have possibly had a flat tyre out there, needed to change, so, yeah.
We're seeing quite a few wheels breaking off, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's some hard, rocky conditions out there that are maybe rolling some tyres off the rims. And, of course, if there's that slightly deflated tyre, especially with these bigger Baja-style balloon tyres, you only need to hit that rock one time, and it's going to flat spot a rim, and it's all over from there. You're going to need to change.
That's right.
There's the second of our Superlight A competitors coming through. Looking to pick up the time once again. That's a 6.637, I believe it should be, of Wayne Kales. Sponsors, obviously, a motorcycle parts and gear, Rupner Discount Tyres, Raceworks. And of course, he's in one of those Yamaha YXZ1000s. Just rocketing up that final of the big straights. Before he's going to swing back around, we'll lose sight for just a second. He's going to swing back around and coming into our circuit area. Yeah, so Battersby, a huge mistake there.
We've got the...
he actually went a lap down by Haby. I watched him go a lap down, so maybe they're electing to let them continue going.
Yeah.
They've just gone a lap down. There was only the two drivers, of course, the VT and this the Discovery.
The Discovery, that's the Land Rover Discovery named Grover, yes, indeed. But yeah, look, he's obviously within the allocated race time, so he was allowed to do his second lap.
We should only have another 3 drivers coming through, as the point scoring has the remainder as DNFs. So we have had 21 finishes currently. We have another 3 of our potential 35 drivers. So we've lost nearly 30% of the field.
Yeah. Look, and that's definitely not surprised. That's all normally the standard statistic with the first section out in off-road racing. You'd always lose at least a good sort of quarter of your grid. So, but look, a few of those guys we'll take them back to the pits and chuck some extra parts and do bits and pieces to them to get them going for tomorrow. So a few of them will be back out tomorrow.
Looking to do those big races, trying to score as many points. Do it as little amount of time as possible until we come out here tomorrow afternoon. It's where the Loveday champion will be crowned. We wrap up out here around 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. It's a bit of an earlier day once we wrap it up. Of course, there's all the proceedings of the presentation and crowning our 2017 Loveday 350 Open champion, and it's a big prestigious title now.
Yeah, with that $2,000 prize money there.
It's always friendly.
Kindly, donated by Move Yourself Trailer Hire there to support the off-road races here at the Loveday 350.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is that for the outright overall?
Yeah. Outright overall, yeah.
So that one's looking like it's going to be between Haby and Curtis at the moment. They've both been matching each other very, very closely. Only 6 seconds in it, so that's not much. Might as well start at square.
yeah. Look, it's just tomorrow's going to be a great day, racing-wise. So definitely keen to see what those boys put on the show and the action tomorrow.
And if you at home are keen to see that, why don't you make your way up here? We're, as we said, only 2.5 hours north of Adelaide, around 120 k's west of Mildura. Just type in Loveday 4x4 Park into your Google Maps, and it's going to come straight up. It's all the action out here. All the facilities. There's bathrooms, toilets, of course, a bar, canteens, food, everything you could ever want out here. So why don't you got nothing to do on your Sunday tomorrow? Grab the kids and come out here and enjoy some of this beautiful weather that is forecast for the Loveday 350, as we will be waiting to crown our new champion. I believe this could potentially be our last driver around, which means there is still 3 or 4 buggies somewhere out there getting pulled in by 4-wheel drives. We haven't quite seen them all yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen the VT entry of Paul Goddard there.
Did he continue on another lap?
Did he continue? I believe he pulled in. He did pull in, and you are correct. That's right.
We just saw him in the picture of the replay of that
the picture of the replay.
Off. Yeah.
That's correct. Yes, no, he did pull in, so he must have had an issue there.
And there comes through Wayne Callers. He was your 6637 machine. Just after him, the Grover machine. That's Whitmitz, of course, and he's actually just put Callers down a spot. He's rolling in there around that 33-minute lap time. He's put himself a very handy 19 minutes behind our leader, which Land Rover Discovery, Pro Buggy, 20 minutes. That's about where I'd put it. That's about right.
It is.